Well, I wonder whether they could somehow work around it, like, because obviously it's Warner Brothers that do Spider-Man, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So obviously Warner Brothers own the rights to Spider-Man, but they don't own the rights to Andrew Garfield as an actor. So
no, they don't. Right.
could they in some way just have him make a cameo like on the street or something like that, like as the Avengers things are going on, like say something that's not Spider-Man related, but like eating a hot dog or something, and just like, damn, I wish I was up there or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something like that, where they just play around with it, but they don't say anything about him being Spider-Man,
Yeah,
but the audience knows and everyone knows what's going on. Would be an interesting move.
Right. Yeah, I completely see where you're coming from there.
Mm. I mean,
I don't know. It's a difficult one to come about, but we just spoke about Age of Ultron. How about we have a little natter about the Batman Superman crossover?
Yeah, okay. So, basically, again, this is just referencing more San Diego Comic-Con 2013 news, in that there was a DC press conference, and basically DC revealed the symbol of the kind of fattened up Batman symbol and the Superman emblem in the centre of it, which is kind of foreshadowing a Superman-Batman crossover movie. World's Finest is looking to be the title of it, which is a reference to the original Batman-Superman crossover comic book. I think this is a good move, but maybe a little bit rushed. I feel that DC in the movie kind of sphere are really trying to play catch up to Marvel. There is a big pressure for them to go over and make a Justice League movie.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, you've got all of the phases and the stages that Marvel have been going on. When you think about it, Batman's had the single Batman films. They haven't even covered like all of the Justice League. And now they're already rushing into it. I mean, it could be a good thing. But I've always spoke about this. It always depends on who's directing it, of course. But Chris Nolan's portrayal of Batman is really, really realistic. I do not know how they are going to make it compatible with Superman after Zack Snyder's portrayal of Man of Steel, which is accurate.
Well, Nolan's already said that it's not going to be him directing, it's going to be Snyder.
Well, yeah.
Which, he did a good job on Superman, but again, I think it'll be interesting to see what he makes of Batman.
Superman and Batman, two different characters. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing to say, but even to do a film about it is not too risky, but different.
But I think there is potential. There is potential here. If they center the movie more around Superman as the main character, Superman has just got his powers. He's just becoming a superhero. Well, he hasn't just got his powers, but he's just realised his full potential, really. And he's had the guidance from his dad, and that's been his starting point. But I think it would be interesting to see him maybe to seek out more guidance in the way of looking for another superhero, looking for how Batman is a superhero and how Batman could teach him how to help and associate with humans. At the same time, the cast of Lex Luthor. So the cast of Lex Luthor, that's really making me think that there could be something corporate between Wayne Enterprises and LexCorp, or we could have some sort of battle of wits between Batman and Lex. While at the same time, Lex can be throwing the physical fighting kind of things between him and Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have any idea of who is being cast as Lex? I heard for a while it was going to be Hades, the voice actor of Hades and Hercules. I should know other things he's been in, because he is quite a fairly famous star, but I don't. And then I also heard it was going to be the Lex that was on Smallville, if any of you guys have watched that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I have heard a couple of different rumours. The main one I've heard is the bad guy from the first Kick-Ass movie. I am horrendously bad with names.
Mark Strong.
Mark Strong. I think he would make a very good Lex.
Yeah. Mark Strong.
I think he would be a more vicious Lex, which I think would match Batman really, really well.
Yeah, I agree.
But at the same time, the Lex from Smallville he was really good.
He was good. I can't see it working the same way in a film. I know I keep be a very pessimistic and half-empty sort of thing, but I can't see him working in the film as such. But yeah, he was good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they've got to be very careful with the casting, because you need someone who can display both Lex's greed and his malevolence, but at the same time be someone that you could believe to own a massive corporation, be incredibly intelligent, and pull off the baldness, which is of course an interesting and important facet to Lex's character.
Mark Strong has got that in the
bag. I'm pretty sure he has. So who do we think should go towards playing Batman? Because
it ain't Christian Bale.
No, it's not Christian Bale. He's confirmed that he will not be playing Batman. So it could be Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a possibility.
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I do, but I'm not so sure if I can see him as being Batman.
Yeah, I'm apprehensive to that. I think he could make an amazing Nightwing movie. A really cool Nightwing movie, but I don't think he could. I'm not sure if he could carry the cape and cowl. I've heard Armie Hammer from the newest Lone Ranger, playing the Lone Ranger, was considered.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't really know what kind of actor he is, but
from the little bits I've seen from the trailers of Lone Ranger and from the reviews I've heard, he just seems to be a pretty good straight man. Like just very good at delivering his lines and.
Considering he's not gay.
No. Like he's very good at playing the sensible strong type from what I hear.
You'd see the sort of Batman style.
And I think Lone Ranger is in the same sort of vein as Batman. So it could have it could have potential there. I think that could really have potential. I actually found out recently that there's apparently a theory that in some way the Lone Ranger, Zorro, the kind of Mexican swordsman, and Batman are all in some huge family tree that was put around by the creator of Zorro. He'd originally intended them to all be related.
What madness is this?
Apparently, I don't know. Our friend Rob,
right, you discovered this from the great Rob.
From the great Rob. He is a friend of ours. He is a weaver of the golden story of life. And
what are we going to call it? Okay. Fair enough. Some odd theories, but I don't know, in some weird way that kind of sounds so...
I think
believably in the same strand that it's almost believable.
I vaguely recommend. I vaguely remember that this has some truth to it in that DC Comics, before they became DC Comics, were making other comics. Like before they were Detective Comics and Action Comics, they were making other comics, and I don't know. This is getting really on the edge of my knowledge whether they did do Zorro and did do Lone Ranger. Because if they did, then that would kind of make sense that it was those two in the early days and then Batman in the more recent days. But I don't know. It's a rumour that I've heard. It could be complete